Alright, so Carolina and Nashville are playing in the first round, and I think it's going to be pretty fun. Don't be tricked by the Carolina hat. Although I am wearing a Carolina hat, I am 100% rooting for Nashville. Uh, mostly because I don't like Carolina. But another part of me is rooting for Carolina, or rooting for Nashville, because I like Pecorine. I like the guy. He's a really good goaltender, and he seems like a generally cool guy. Um, and you know, Nashville. Yeah, they lost their chance in 20. I'm not even gonna get into that, but I don't think they're going to do too well in this series, and that's sad. The only way I can see them doing well in this series is if Pecorine goes on a tear, which he could, but the other guy at the end of the ice, Ned, he might just outduel him, or out goaltend him, outduel him, whatever you want to call it. And Ned has no playoff experience, at least NHL playoff experience. I know he has, playoff experience down in the minors, but that's the minors. This is the NHL. He has to show that he can show up in the playoffs. If he comes to game one and he, pardon my French here, shits the ice, then Carolina might actually lose the series. And he'll have to perform well. Because although Carolina does have excellent offense, if their goaltender doesn't play well, yeah, they might not make it out of the series. Especially if Ned doesn't play well and then Pecorine plays fantastic, then they won't get out of the series. This is all hypothetical, of course, because I don't think that's how it's going to go. I think Ned is going to play well, and I think Pecorine is going to play well too, but not well enough. And it's just it is what it is. And Carolina is a team that I think could do well as long as they don't run into Tampa. But that's another video for another time. But they are, a team that is really good. I think they're a little soft in the way they play. I don't think they play too well against tough teams. And if they get matched up against tough teams like Washington or like Boston in the playoffs, they're done. They're done. But, they might not, if they're playing against a team like Nashville, I think they're pretty good, They're good. They'll be good. Nashville, on the other hand, hasn't played great. But they have made their way into the playoffs. So I don't think this series is going to be long. I think it's going to be 5 games at the most. It may be 4. But I think Nashville will win 1 in there. I think that's pretty reasonable. To say. No, because Nashville's not a terrible team. I just don't think they're generally a good team. So I don't see Nashville getting very far in this series, but then again, you never really know, do you? But, yeah, excuse me. And I don't think that Carolina is necessarily the greatest team in the league. I just think they're a lot better than Nashville, as long as Pecorine doesn't play good. Or even if he plays good, that's okay. But if he decides to be Pecorine of 2017, Carolina's done for. Okay, they're over. And it's just like that. So anyway, yeah, I'm gonna enjoy this series. This series is gonna be pretty cool. But I'm curious to know what everyone else thinks. So yeah, bye guys. Thumbs up, subscribe.